Throughout history, few movements embody the human spirit's resilience and thirst for freedom like the Underground Railroad. It was not an actual railroad, nor was it underground, but rather a vast network of secret routes, safe houses, and brave individuals who risked everything to help enslaved people escape bondage in the American South. The stories of those who journeyed through this perilous path and those who assisted them are testaments to the power of courage, hope, and solidarity. A network of hope and defiance. The Underground Railroad operated primarily in the 19th century, reaching its height between 1830 and the Civil War's outbreak in 1861. It was a lifeline for thousands of enslaved individuals seeking liberty, stretching from southern plantations through hostile territories, across rivers, forests, and into the free states of the North or Canada. Though the Underground Railroad had no central organization, its success relied on the cooperation of abolitionists, free African Americans, Quakers, and even some sympathetic white Southerners. People involved were known as conductors, while the fugitives were called passengers. Safe houses or hiding places along the route were stations, and those who provided shelter and aid were station masters. This intricate network functioned in secrecy, using coded messages, signals, and disguises to avoid detection. Harriet Tubman, the Moses of her people, one of the most iconic figures of the Underground Railroad, was Harriet Tubman, born into slavery in Maryland. Tubman escaped in 1849, but returned multiple times to lead others to freedom. She guided at least 70 individuals, including her family, on dangerous journeys through swamps, rivers, and forests. Armed with an unyielding faith and an unparalleled strategic mind, Tubman never lost a single passenger. One of her most famous rescue missions involved a group she led in 1851, traveling by night and resting by day. Using the North Star as her guide and singing coded spirituals to communicate, she outmaneuvered slave catchers and bounty hunters who sought to capture her and those she led. Tubman's bravery did not stop there. During the Civil War, she worked as a scout and spy for the Union Army, further solidifying her place in history as a true warrior for freedom. Levi and Catherine Coffin, the station masters who sheltered thousands. Not all heroes of the Underground Railroad were former slaves. Levi and Catherine Coffin, a Quaker couple from Indiana, provided refuge to more than 3,000 freedom seekers over 20 years. Their home, known as the Grand Central Station of the Underground Railroad, was a critical stop where fugitives found shelter, food, and guidance on the next leg of their journey. The Coffins devised ingenious hiding spaces within their home and trained their children to keep silent about their activities. Levi Coffin often disguised fugitives in plain sight, helping them board wagons under the guise of being farm workers or covered by produce. Their relentless commitment to the cause demonstrated how deeply rooted moral convictions could drive people to act in defiance of unjust laws. The story of Henry Box Brown, a journey of ingenious escape. While some traveled by foot or wagon, others used creativity to outsmart their oppressors. Henry Box Brown was a man who literally mailed himself to freedom. Born into slavery in Virginia, Brown was devastated when his wife and children were sold away from him. Determined to escape, he enlisted the help of abolitionists who packed him inside a wooden crate and shipped him to Philadelphia, over 250 miles away. For 27 hours, Brown remained crammed in the box, enduring suffocating heat and extreme discomfort. When the crate was finally opened by abolitionists in Philadelphia, he emerged free. His daring escape captivated the abolitionist movement and became one of the most astonishing stories of the Underground Railroad. Brown went on to become a famous speaker and performer, using his story to inspire others. Secret routes and hidden messages. Navigating the Underground Railroad required intelligence, quick thinking, and knowledge of the terrain. Fugitives often travel at night, using the North Star as their guide. Rivers, such as the Ohio River, serve as crucial dividing lines between slave and free states. Swamps and dense forests became both obstacles and protection, shielding freedom seekers from slave catchers. Conductors used coded messages to communicate and direct fugitives safely. Quilts with specific patterns were hung outside homes, signaling whether it was safe to approach. Spirituals, such as follow the drinking gourd, contained hidden directions pointing northward. Even seemingly ordinary conversations carried hidden meanings that guided the travelers to safety. The price of freedom, risks and rewards. Escaping slavery was not just a test of endurance. It was an act of defiance punishable by death. The Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 heightened the risks, allowing slave catchers to pursue escaped slaves even in free states. This law made the journey even more treacherous, as many had to flee all the way to Canada to find true security. Despite the danger, thousands took the risk, preferring to die trying to remain in chains. Many who reached freedom dedicated their lives to helping others, ensuring that the path they once took remained open for those who followed. Some, like Frederick Douglass, used their voices to fight slavery through powerful speeches and writings, shaping the abolitionist movement's course. Legacy and impact. The Underground Railroad was more than a passage to freedom. It was a powerful movement that changed history. Its legacy lives on in the countless descendants of those who escaped, the communities that stood against injustice, and the continued fight for equality. Many sites associated with the Underground Railroad, including Tubman's home in Auburn, New York, and Coffin's house in Indiana, have been preserved as historical landmarks. These places serve as reminders of the bravery, sacrifice, and resilience of those who defied oppression in pursuit of justice. Conclusion, a testament to human strength. The Underground Railroad is one of history's most remarkable examples of human determination and compassion. It was a movement fueled by the courage of those who dared to dream of a better life, and the kindness of those who risked everything to help others. These hidden routes and stories of survival remind us that even in the darkest times, the human spirit remains unbreakable. As we reflect on the Underground Railroad, we honor the countless individuals who fought for freedom and recognize that the struggle for justice and equality continues. Their stories inspire us to stand up against injustice and to help those in need, just as they did over a century ago.